Hello and welcome back to Rejuvenated Women. I'm Dr. Alex, and I'm really excited to be joined today by a longtime friend of mine, Dr. Casen DeMaria. So, Casen, welcome.
Thank you so much.
And, we connected just inside of everything that's going on in the world today and wanted to have a conversation around really how to maintain your balance in the midst of all the changes that are going on with coronavirus, with having kids at home, with suddenly working from home, and maybe your spouse is home too, and you've got everyone in the house, and just really how to stay connected to yourself and continue to really be able to take care of yourself in the process of that. So I'm gonna let Dr. Casen kind of take it away in sharing some thoughts on that.
You know what's interesting is it's like when things change, it's really figuring out, and even like every day waking up, it's like, is this real? And coming into like, this is real, and being able to really adapt. And I think this is really when women thrive, is being creative and what that looks like. I think a lot of people, it would be easy just to wake up and be like, well, I'm just going to kind of let this blow over and just wait it out. But I really think that the creativity has really been online in regards to even like us, Dr. Alex, is reconnecting with longtime friends, your family, but also I think there's a huge opportunity in business wherever you are, is to, whether it's a Zoom meeting or an email, or figuring out really how to connect with people and finding people in your area, or maybe not even in your area, that are doing the same thing. So I think there's a huge opportunity to have the actual time to create things, whether that looks like at home with your family, with your business, but really taking an opportunity that God's kind of giving us time to have time to be still and figure out what you really get excited about.
Absolutely. And, I think it's really a key, like what we're dealing with is, it's serious, and there's aspects of it that are scary and can be, stressful and consuming. But on the other side of that, what I really want to focus on and just discussing is the reminder that we suddenly have this opportunity with just, as you said, having more time and, having the time to connect with old friends. And we have these amazing digital platforms and things like Zoom, or, video chats and places where, even though it's through a screen, we still are having this opportunity to reconnect, and, whether it's with other people or with an aspect of ourselves that we just haven't had time to really dive into. So, I love that reminder.
Yes. So let me ask you, Dr. Alex. So in this time with how the world is changing, I thought we could talk about maybe some things that have brought, joy, whether it's into your life or, what you've been able to do so far in the last week or so. Have you done different things? And I know I've been keeping up with you with your videos and your pictures in regards to your family activities. What are some ideas for people out there? Maybe I thought we could share some things that maybe we've seen, whether on a post or just in our own lives, to help bring inspiration to women and their families.
Yeah, I love that. That's a great idea. So, the thing that I've really been present to is, and again, I'm in Alaska, so we have an insane amount of snow, and it just keeps coming, even though it's almost April. But what I've had time to do that I really haven't had time for, or I shouldn't say I haven't had time, because time, we choose what we do with our time, but I haven't made time for, is just playing outside with my son Fritz, and like, sliding down hills and throwing snow at each other. And like, our snow is finally sticky enough that we can build snowmen. That's not something we can normally do up here because it's so dry. And so just being able to still get work done, and I've had some creativity, I would say, and just like the ability to show up and share stuff, and really connect with people as well, through social media and whatnot, but also to just like hang out and go outside. It's been so long since we've had that kind of opportunity at home. What about for you? What are some of the things you've done?
Well, in Cleveland, Ohio, so I was looking at the weather, it's like 42 degrees today. And what's really interesting is I have never seen so many people walking outside. And even with the physical distancing, it's like you see families outside, people are biking, the birds are chirping, and it's kind of like I'm kind of laughing to myself. I'm like people are really getting started now on their New Year's resolutions and New Year's goals. It's like, this is great. So I know that my husband and I, we've definitely been going on more walks, and we're always active, but I think that we've been exploring different paths and routes, because you can only be on your computer and on social media for so long. And I think that really, and I was watching one of your videos, I think you did it last week, of just like time management. So I think that whatever that looks like at home is, you want to spend some time on your business, whatever that looks like, some time on maybe some home projects, family time, but then also getting outside, whatever that looks like for you. So for you, it's outside in the snow.
Oh yeah.
And playing in the snow, but for here, it's like going outside and just, I think that breathing and the oxygen and exercise and doing some kind of movement, you really have to get out there and not just sit inside and do everything inside.
Yeah. And not sit inside and just worry. Because, there's been times kind of as this really hit Alaska where I am, and, with there's some fears because we don't have great healthcare infrastructure up here and all of that. So it can be easy to sit inside and like get glued to, the governor's announcements and like the worry and just kind of like going down this rabbit hole of like, and, we have to remember as much as, we're facing a lot of stuff that can be serious for our economy, for our, our livelihoods, for all of these things, we do have an opportunity to really start to make changes that will be the most, positive in terms of boosting your immune system and really helping you, be able to be healthy through this. It doesn't, mean you're not going to get coronavirus. Maybe, they're predicting that most of us will, but you have the opportunity to actually do things that are going to help you have a better chance of fighting it effectively. And so I think that's huge.
And I think also all these videos of what people are doing, like, I was just, with the virtual webinars and different things, and I was watching an interview last night with Beth Moore and Jenny Allen, and Jenny Allen wrote a book on like, get out of your head. So it's like perfect timing in regards to like reading a book and figuring it all out. But as I've been watching and witnessing, even my neighbors, like the neighbors down the street, they put out like a little pail of chalk, and like kids are writing, in the driveway, like, be happy and we're going to get through this. And even in our neighborhood, like kids with their families, they've been making construction paper flowers. And, I think that wherever you are watching this and listening, it's like, think about like, what can you do to bring joy to someone's life? Now, you might be staying at home, and that might mean like a text or a FaceTime to your neighbor, or maybe even a family member that, you could share more love with. But it definitely, it's easy not to do anything and just literally stay at home and do nothing. But I was just looking at our local, like, Cleveland Food Bank just yesterday. There was a picture, and it's like these families, there's miles and miles of families standing in line for food. So, what can we do, even in our own business? And then I know even where we went to school, Dr. Alex, to give and to love and to serve, it's like, what can we do, whether it's at home for your neighbor, in our online community, just to reach out and see how we can help someone? Because sometimes I think as women, you might not ask for a need and you kind of just keep it inside and think about it. But really, I think that right now, everyone is in the same spot. And sometimes I think even as a woman, you feel behind, like you need to do that next thing. And everyone right now is literally looking at each day and taking it day by day. So I think the best thing we can do is having that inspiration in ourselves, but to figure out what we can do to help each other too.
Absolutely. And, along with that, is there anything you would recommend to do or think about or journal on or look at in terms of, connecting to that side of yourself? Because I know for me and for a lot of women, we've been so go for so long. It's like when you actually have the space and time for this, you're like, whoa, okay. So like, what am I supposed to do? Do you have any tips on that?
Yeah. So, with with our office right now. So even with like the balancing and figuring out different things with different restrictions and things, I know that I've been more so working from home and doing marketing things. But what I did was on my notepad on my phone, which I use that a lot for notes, as well as I use, paper for writing notes. But I kind of wrote down like a home list of like spring cleaning or things that you're always thinking about when you see it, but maybe you don't have the time to do it. Like go through the drawer in the kitchen. Why do we have so many cups? Like, do we really use all these cups? Things that like pop into your head as you're going through the day when you're home. But I've definitely made like a bubble list of things and ideas to do one thing a day, like at home, whether it is just looking through things, but also in regards to businesses, scheduling out Zoom meetings and connecting with people that maybe I haven't connected with. And I have some other business magazines and things, and just doing, one thing a day, just focusing your time on home, family. I know when waking up, I am always reading my Bible app and also having that personal time to get centered. And I think spending more time for me in worship music and what God is really doing right now, I think that's really important, because I know it's really easy to wake up in the morning, get on Facebook, say, okay, what's going on?
What happened while I was asleep, right?
Right.
Yeah. No, I think all of those are really great ideas. And, the big thing with all of this is like we suddenly have a lot more time. And I think it's easy to waste it. We don't have to be anywhere. We don't have to get the kid to school. We don't have to, show up for work and whatnot. And so I found for me, like, it's 9:30 in the morning right now that we're having this conversation where I am. And so it's like, oh, I actually have to get up and like do something this morning. So, finding those activities or, ways to kind of keep yourself, I don't want to say like make yourself super busy. You still want to create, like have that free time, that freedom throughout your day. But something I always talk about is that, with time, we always have this perception that it's something that's, finite and then we never have enough of. But the reality is that, if you look at it from not Newtonian principles, but Einstein, who says, the theory of relativity, like we're in creation of what we do with our time at any given point. And so, we now more than ever have this ability to really be creative and in creating, what we're going to do with each of our days. And, whether you're homeschooling kids or, working on a business or, trying to figure out how you're going to make money because your job isn't, viable anymore, or, whatever that is, you suddenly have this ability to create time for each of those things and really have plenty of time in your day. Like I have set my schedule to where I work maybe 4 hours a day right now. And I'm getting a lot done. Like I completely redesigned my website over the weekend. So that's like where my creativity kicks in, and I'm like, ooh, let's take on a big project. I can get this done. But we have this kind of freedom and flexibility, and I think it's been really cool to see families going outside more and kind of taking these steps to do some of the things that they never take time for. And so it's also a time where we can really reevaluate what our values are. Like,
right.
Have we been living in those values, or have we been too busy to slow down and do that? So I don't know if you have anything to add to.
Yeah. And I think also it's like in a time right now of change, it's like really you evaluate how much stuff you have. Like when you see people, and you're just reading all these different things of how, in regards to there are limitations of things out there that people really aren't able to get. But you look at your own life of like, okay, what is a priority? What do I want to, go through, give away? What do I really use? And you kind of start evaluating even that in your business of, okay, what are the nuts and bolts right now? And then from this, based on that, what can we whether change, stop doing, recreate into a different way? But I think that's something that I've really been evaluating in looking at your time is like, what is really important for your time? Where does your time need to be spent?
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, like we've been saying, like we suddenly have this opportunity to do that. and really like evaluate it because there's suddenly more time
I
in
know.
some
And
way. So,
what's so funny is I know that we talked like previously about like natural birth control and things for women, which now is the time that you want
now is
to,
the time.
whether maybe you're looking to create a family, you have time to do that, as well as
Uh-huh.
if you are looking not to get pregnant, you know, considering what are you doing to prevent that? Because I know that, you know, there's been so many just like funny memes and things, but like there will be, you know, I'm sure some increased families in 9 months from now.
I was going to ask you that. So, you know, originally when we talked about having this conversation, we were going to talk about natural birth control, and we still might do that somewhere down the road, but I feel like this is more applicable
Yeah.
to what we're dealing with today. And, you know, inside of that, I had a thought and I just lost it, but not around that. Um, oh, just in, you know, finding like reconnecting to some level of creativity. I know for me, you know, after having wrist surgery and all that stuff, I've suddenly had an urge to like get off of my computer and actually handwrite, even though my handwriting was bad before I had surgery and now it's even worse. But like I've had that desire to have like pen to paper or to like start drawing again. I haven't drawn since I was 10. You know,
Wow.
but just like tapping into that creative energy and whatnot. And because inside of there is like where we have the opportunity to really stay grounded and connected and not, you know, engaged in the anxiety and the fear of what's going
Mm.
on right now. Um, so I was going to ask you, you know, what advice do you have for women listening in, you know, finding some sense of, I mean, we talked about balance, but, you know, like still having a
Mm-hmm.
sense of purpose, a sense of, you know, I think there's actually opportunity to have that in even a bigger way now with being,
Mm-hmm.
you know, with everyone essentially being a stay-at-home mom at the moment, or, you
Right.
know, in the home a lot more, you know, but finding that connection to, you know, the bigger thing, whether you've been a stay-at-home mom or housewife or homemaker or whatever it is, or, you know, you have a career and you're not able to like do that on the level that you have been, or you have to recreate something there. Like, how do we stay grounded in our purpose and connected to that? What advice do you have?
I think, you know, and there was a lot to that question as you were
Sorry.
asking so many different things. So, number one, I think the simplest thing that anyone can do is, even with a piece of paper and a pen, is writing out what you're thankful for and what you're grateful for.
Mm,
And then I think there's a lot to that, even with writing. I know for myself, I love writing cards. Like, I just love handwritten notes. That's a thing of mine. Like, when I see cards on sale, even if I don't have anyone to give it to, I'm like buying everything. So this is, even if maybe you don't have greeting cards at home, you can make your own with a
yeah,
piece of paper and a pen, and even get your kids into writing cards. But
yeah,
that's just something that I love doing. And just, you know, a simple, like, you know, I hope you're having a great day, and, you know, thinking of you, that can really mean a lot to someone. So even simple things like that. But I think definitely starting with your thankful list and grateful list. And then from there, you might maybe, you know, you have a piano at home and maybe you haven't really touched it, or maybe you want to knit or dance
yeah,
or
yeah.
do a Zumba at home video with your kids, you know. Yeah, I think going back to like even memories when we were kids of like what really got you excited. You know, did you like to play outside? Did you like to do art? Did you like to paint? I think this is a good time to start doing some of those things that maybe we haven't done for in a while. And if you don't really know how to do it and you're thinking of it, you just YouTube it, because I'm sure there's a video out there on how to.
And if you're really good at it, you can make your own video and put it on YouTube and, you know, put it out
Exactly,
there.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. We're really living in a digital time. I can't imagine if, you know, internet crashed or something, how that would change, but I'm sure we'd
I
figure out how to
know.
adapt in the process. So, you know,
I know, right?
uh,
I I think, you know, even when you wake up, it's like right now, it's like you wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, we get another day. Like, what are we gonna do with today? And even with some of these, maybe at home, it could be something simple as just picking up one of the books that you have on your shelf that have been there for a really long time. And you actually sit down and you start reading it, even if it's 10 minutes, or listening to a podcast or doing something to stimulate your brain in a different pattern. And I know there's so much research out there on doing different things. And when you're in those moments of creativity, that's when your best ideas come. So even if you're not doing something specific for your business, I think there's so much to, whether it's walking, painting, drawing, whatever it is, I think that you can really get some amazing ideas even from that, how to be a better leader, team member, mom, spouse. I think whatever you're doing, I think you can really get great ideas from things that get joy in your life too.
Yeah, absolutely. And, all of those are great ways to really manage stress. And I know there's a lot of like we're stressed. There's a new layer of just kind of uncertainty, and that can create stress. And I had posted a question on my Facebook page a while ago about, what are some of the things that you feel like you need support around right now? And one of the biggest comments was around adaptability and being able to, adapt to change. And we've had a lot of change. And, I would say, what we're talking about is a lot of the tools and things that, how you can shift to approach the day so that no matter what changes from today to tomorrow to the next day, you're able to adapt and still show up and be you and like be connected to your power, because we are powerful as women. And a lot of what I've seen is like, this is the time for us to really shine as leaders, whether it's in our business or our family or, for our neighbors, for our community, because as women, we have this ability to tap into something that I would just say men don't have. that's the nurturing ability. I'm not saying none of them are good at it, but we really have a opportunity here.
Yes.
So,
and I think also going back to the basics, that whatever today looks like, your body, you still need water, you still need rest, you still need exercise, you still need vegetables.
yes.
You still need to work on your self-care and taking care of your body also, so that way you can properly manage your thoughts and everything that you're going through. Because I think, especially I know for myself, it's easy to get in on a project or something that you're doing, and then you think about, oh my goodness, my water, or did I, when you're home, especially, I know for myself, when I'm at the office, I'm very structured with, waking up, exercise, going to the office, showering, getting ready, breakfast time, lunchtime, snacks, dinner, water, and you have that routine. So I think creating a self-care routine is really important. Visually, having my water out helps a lot, but things like that, of what does that look like when you're at home?
Yeah. And enjoying, like I've actually been enjoying being home to cook 3 meals a day instead of just, 1 or 2 if I'm lucky. And, getting some creativity around that. So enjoying, like, still creating some structure around what you do during the day, but enjoying the freedom of, being able to do some of the things that maybe you haven't been able to do in a long time. So any parting words of advice or thoughts as we wrap up?
I think the biggest thing is sticking together and being together in this. So especially if anyone listening to this, or they're looking for, to do a Zoom meeting, or just chatting about ideas and creative ways, I think definitely reaching out to us and seeing how we can work together on this. Because even with women coming together, I know you said, Dr. Alex, we have kind of an advantage with men, but it's different gifts. So I think that all of us are really working on, how do you create something different out of an unknown? And I think that all of us are working on that. So I think coming up with different ideas to help sharpen each other, I think that's how we're really gonna win and get ahead of what we're doing in the future.
Absolutely. Love it. So for anyone listening or watching, how do they connect with you if they want to, find out more about Dr. Casen?
Well, I know I will send you my email and they can email me directly, or I am on Facebook under Casen DeMaria. I am on the Drugless Doctors, which is our website and our practice in Westlake, Ohio, and also LinkedIn, Instagram, but definitely messaging, whether it's myself or you or both of us, so that way we can help and support each other in this, I think, this great time of where we can really come together and be there for each other.
Absolutely. Great. And I will put links to that, all that in the show notes. So thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Casen.
You are welcome. Have a great day.